Region Number 2 here in Manhattan, New York City. And thank you for joining me. Oh, sorry for the little technical snafus. Was getting info bombed out there. Woo! All right. We are live. Excuse me. Got a little held up back there, but we got news. We got plenty of news. If you notice the map at the beginning of the show, basically it is the map for the UN, the United Nations. This is their sustainable, what do they call it? Sustainable stability, where basically they're going to herd us into cities. They're going to mass herd us into all these cities here. Let's go back to the map so I can show you. Oh boy, the map is gone. Wonderful. Wonderful, I tell you. All right. Well, anyway, if you notice this flag right here, it represents the United Nations, and basically the United Nations is the New World Order. So we must not allow the United Nations to come into our land and take our rights and such and herd us into these Agenda 21 micro apartments. Okay? Let's see if we can get this in here so I can show you the map. Oh, boy. All right. This is the Agenda 21 map. If you see here, all the red areas are for no humans are allowed in the red areas over here. And the light orange areas or the pinkish areas are actually for the Indian reservations. And the green areas are basically human cities where we are allowed to travel. This is all under Agenda 21, you see. The United Nations and Agenda 21 basically want to move us into these massive cities here. And sort of like Dread, that new movie that's coming out. And they got these massive cities, and there's no cops, but there's just judges and such. Basically, let's just go to the first article. I'm sorry, I'm a mess here. Going through a lot of stress right now. You know, I gotta thank my wife. You know, she's going through a lot right now. Her grandmother is critically ill, and I was going to cancel the show today, but my wife, she tells me, no, sweetie, you got thousands of people out there who count on you and count on your info. So I would like to give out a prayer for my grandmother-in-law, and I would like all of you out there to throw out a prayer for her, Maria Burgos, over in Pennsylvania. And thank you, honey. See, she's a true info warrior. All right, let's go on to this first article here. The UN's virtuous path green leads straight to mass death. A 1991 policy paper prepared for the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNICED, outlines a strategy for the transfer of wealth. Yeah, give it to me. All right, I was waiting for these headphones. Is it with the piece? Oh, you're wonderful. Thank you, Melanie. All right, I got my headphones. Sorry for these technical snafus here. All right, a 1991 policy paper prepared for the United Nations Conference on Environmental Development, UNICED, outlines a strategy for a transfer of wealth in name of the environment to be implemented in the corners of 35 to 40 years. As it turns out, is a visionary paper describing phase by phase to world environmental dictatorship. As Professor Sachs states in his paper, hold on. As Professor Sachs states in his paper, wonderful, he says, in order to stabilize the populations of South by means other than wars and epidemics, mere campaigning for birth control and distribution of contraceptives has proved fairly inefficient. This scumbag Sachs also says, Agenda 21, the UN strategy for redistributing the wealth accumulated by the North in order to create completely balanced world society under auspices of the United Nations, of course, and the private central banks controlling it. This can only come about by destroying the middle class. A sudden redistribution of industrialization would not do for the middle class, would undoubtedly rise in defiance against it. Therefore, Sachs argues for an incremental and carefully planned dissolution of middle class phase by phase. You see, these United Nations scumbags, they want to get rid of the middle class because essentially they're outright damn commies, if you ask me. Yeah, they're communists, and Obama's down with them, Romney's down with them, and I wouldn't vote for either one of those bastards. All right, and moving on, he also says a Sustainable Development Council within the UN system to integrate social, economic, and environmental policy at the global level. The other more sinister element of Agenda 21 is, of course, the concerted effort on the part of the global elite through multilateral treaties and regulations is not only to control the populations of the world, but to cull them. So, yes, they want to cull the population, thin the population. Basically, they want to kill us all. You got Bloomberg with the micro apartments. They're making our apartments smaller. The big soda, all the bike lanes. This is all under Agenda 21, people. Do not be fooled. The United Nations is evil scum, and I represent the spirit of 1776 right here, the true American patriot blood, that I will not be stopped until I rid these evil bastards off my land. Death to the New World Order and death to the United Nations. All right, moving on to the next article here. We're moving fast. Department of Defense Population Control, part of U.S. Stability Operations. James A. Scherer, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Partnership, Strategy, and Stability Operations, told an audience at the annual summit of the International Stability Operations Association, ISO, a few days ago that population control is one of the more core missions of the U.S. military in relations to stability operations. So you got the Secretary of Defense, Department of Defense guy over here, scumbag, basically admitting that they want to cull the population and kill us all. What more can I give you, people? What more? All right. Also, you know, the United Nations is just crazy bad, man. They got the UN Belgium Sex Brigade. These guys are basically a pedophile brigade that go around to other countries, raping little girls, trading food for sex. It's basically a pedophile child trafficking ring. Okay, look into that. Also, heroin. The UN deals in heroin big time, and the U.S. troops help grow the heroin. Let's go to this clip. I want to show you of the U.S. troops helping the Taliban grow the heroin so that the drugs can be shipped into our country and our people addicted to this insane drug. And then when they catch you with the drug, they're going to throw you in their jail that they own. They're making money hand over fist. All right.
The Taliban finances much of its operations by selling opium, which is grown from poppies, which are right now being harvested. So here's the question. Why are American troops now helping Afghan farmers grow that opium? Nick Schifrin reports from Afghanistan on a controversial new policy.
In western Kandahar, poppy farmers score, till, harvest their crop, and the Americans do nothing to stop them. U.S. soldiers greet farmers.
Can you show me which poppy field is yours?
They commiserate with farmers having a bad harvest.
Tell them I'm very sorry for this field this year, and hopefully it's a better harvest next year.
And in one case, they even paid a farmer $1,000 after U.S. and Afghan special forces burned his crop.
If you can come down to the base or on my next visit, I'll make a payment.
This is controversial. The opium trade is the Taliban's main source of funding.
Around here, this poppy isn't only a plant, it's the very basis of the economy here. Poppy grows everywhere in this area, and most of the farmers base their entire income for the entire season on this harvest.
And that's why soldiers ignore and encourage the farmers. If the U.S. burned their crop, farmers would blame the U.S. for their poverty and turn toward the Taliban. I'm not going to lie to you, this farmer says. If my poppy were destroyed, I would be very angry.
If we secure them having a good harvest, now they're going to get paid for all their hard work, and then we can deal with the trafficking afterwards.
And that is the new U.S. policy. After farmers get paid, try to capture drug traffickers. These troops have confiscated 10,000 pounds of opium before the profit reached the Taliban. One day, the U.S. hopes to convince farmers to choose legal crops. Until then, the seeds of the insurgency will continue to grow in these fields. Nick Schifrin, ABC News, Kandahar.
All right, you heard it there first, and this is the reason why they killed Pat Tillman. Yes, this is the reason. Pat Tillman, the football player who basically enlisted into the Army, I believe, and he was writing letters back home saying this war is unjust. We're over here helping the farmers grow poppy so that the United Nations can ship in heroin all over the world. It's a Rothschild, Rockefeller, Bush racket, skull and bone drug operation going on, okay? And then drugs are illegal in this country? You gotta be kidding me. All right, let's move on. Running out of time. Our next article is from the AmericanFreePress.com. New documents reveal Cold War chemical testing conducted on U.S. neighborhoods. The next time you express your concern to a family member, friend, colleague, or acquaintance about chemtrails and you're scoffed at as a conspiracy theorist, politely remind them of Operation LAC, large area coverage in the late 1950s United States Army project which dispersed microscopic zinc-cadmium sulfide particles over much of the United States to determine the dispersion of geographic range of biological or chemical agents. At the time of the spraying, cadmium was a known toxin. MRC was an obscure aerosol study in St. Louis, Missouri, conducted under contract by the U.S. military from 1953 to 1954 and 1963 to 1965, which targeted a segregated, high-density urban area which low-income persons of color predominantly resided. These latest revelations of the U.S. government using unwitting citizens, according to Dr. Lisa Martino Taylor, a professor of sociology at the St. Louis Community College, her mother-in-law and her family members several years ago, and her two colleagues who grew up in the area wondered if the experiment was the cause of their cancers. It turns out they were. So, think the chemtrails aren't, they're just mist. It's lovely love mist that's coming down on us, blessing us with love and happiness and health. Yeah, keep believing that one, okay? All right, moving on to my next article. This is from DrudgeReport.com. Washington AP and the Associated Press he links to. The CIA station chief in Libya reported to Washington Times. Actually, the title of the article is CIA Found Militant Links a Day After Libya Attack. Yes, the CIA station chief in Libya reported to Washington within 24 hours of last month's deadly attack on the U.S. consulate that there was evidence it was carried out by Al-Qaeda. I've been saying this all along, people. Al-Qaeda is in there as a pretext so we can go to World War III. They pay Al-Qaeda. It's like 1984. We support Al-Qaeda in Libya and Syria, but we're fighting Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan and Iraq, and here at home when we allow the TSA to grab our dicks. This is our next article here. Speaking of dicks, Mr. Ben Affleck defends TSA dick grabbing. This is from Infowars.com. During a recent appearance on Bill Maher's Real Time, actor Ben Affleck defends the TSA policy of grabbing people's genitals. All right, I have a video clip of him doing so. Let's go to it. Ben Affleck.
What I would investigate is Norman Mineta making us all have fingers stuck up our butts to go through airport security.
That's just you.
No.
That doesn't happen now.
Well, I do look like a like a terrorist. I want to hear about what happens at Guantanamo, what happens at airports.
That's another, Republican MacGuffin. This whole thing, like, the TSA is fucking us. You know
Oh, come on, you fly private.
Be safe. Do you want to die on these airplanes? They go by you, they go like this. They grab your dick a little bit. It's not the end of the world. Like this, they grab your dick a little bit. It's not the end of the world. Like this, they grab your dick a little bit. It's not the end of the world.
Naked grannies, defrocked priests, an agent in Philadelphia, TSA worker smacked me in my testicles for refusing body scan. TSA deliberately hiring pedophiles. All these articles. These articles go on and on and on and on. When is this TSA tyranny going to stop, I wonder? Hopefully soon, you know. 2 elderly women says TSA exposed her, checking granny's diapers. This is the woman with cancer. She had her IV or urine bag ripped off. Just so many articles out there. This is one, the deaf guy they called Deafy and stole his candy. Just so many. I could give you 1,000 more examples, but, you know, read it. Ben Affleck has no problems with the TSA, and this is why. Because that scumbag, Ben Affleck, flies with his scumbag wife, Jennifer Garner, private. He doesn't have to get his dick grabbed. Isn't that wonderful?
The TSA is fucking us, you know?
So there you go, Ben Affleck. You are a scumbag, Ben Affleck. Ooh, you make me cringe. Justice will be done. Justice will be done, or the heavens may fall. Let me tell you, okay, Ben Affleck, you scumbag. Let somebody grab on your child like that. Why don't you fly commercial then, you scumbag? All right, enough. All right, let's move on to this next article here. This next article is Earthquake Disaster Drills Make FEMA's Martial Law Agenda. Yes, according to a FEMA press release, more than 1 million people will take part in Drop, Cover, and Hold On, an earthquake drill to be held after the first anniversary of the M5.9 Mineral, Virginia earthquake. FEMA was designated to establish and enforce martial law, Drop, Cover, and Hold On, and other programs primarily to provide public relations, cover, and function as bait and switch operations to mask the agency's real mandate. FEMA is the Patriot Act on crack, writes Sheila Samples. Once its powers are unleashed, Oliver North's Rex 84 exercise will become reality. The Constitution will be suspended, and FEMA will have the right to detain or seize the property of anyone even suspected or engaging in or who might be thinking of conspiring with others to engage in acts of espionage or sabotage. So if you're like myself, who does not like the damn United Nations because I know they're a damn New World Order entity run by the global elite and the banksters, the drug dealers, then they just may lock you up, okay? All right, moving fast here. Next article, Spain seeks to outlaw filming cops. This is from Paul Joseph Watson at Infowars.com. Following massive protests in Spain over the last couple of months as demonstrators revolt in response to draconian austerity measures imposed by the crumbling European Union, Spain has now moved to make filming police a crime. And I'm going to show you why. Because when people lose it, when they lose it all, they lose their minds. And this is what's going on in Spain and maybe coming to a city near you. From RT.
mucho rey, mucha iglesia.
Mucha hostia.
Mucha
Well, there you have it. That's what's going on in Spain right now. Just crazy. Really is crazy. All right. And that once you see these European countries starting to crumble and fold, it's only a matter of about 6 months it's going to hit here, okay? So give me a call, 1-212-245-7273. We are live. It is October, I don't even know what today's day is. I'm so shot. October 20th. Give me a call, man. We're live. All right, our next story is a prepper, breaking prepper, put on no-fly list and is stranded in Hawaii. Yes, this is from Infowars.com. What does it take to get your name on the no-fly list in America? Apparently, you only need to be classified as a prepper. When 34-year-old citizen and Mississippi resident Wade Hicks boarded a military flight to visit his wife, a Navy lieutenant stationed in Okinawa, Japan, he did not think it would be a one-way trip, stopping off in Hawaii to refuel. Upon reboarding his plane, Hicks was quickly escorted back off again by armed guards. He was then taken to a secure interrogation room where Hicks was informed he would not be flying anywhere because he turned up on the no-fly list. Hicks has since been stranded on the island state without any way home. So yeah, they get this guy on the plane, and you know, it's a 2-stop trip, and they stop off in Hawaii. First of all, they let him on the plane from San Francisco, and then they stop in Hawaii, and they go, oh no, you're on the no-fly list, you can't fly anymore. So now he's stranded on Hawaii, which isn't a bad place to be stranded, but what type of crap is that? And seemingly the only crime Hicks has committed that would end in revocation of his ability to fly is the affiliation with the Mississippi Preppers Project. So if you're a prepper and you watch the show Preppers and you go to their website, you just may be on a no-fly list. You see, I make jokes about this all the time, actually. The guys at work joke on me, saying that I'm actually on the no-fly list. But there's no way you can actually find out unless you go and fly. So, yeah, I think I am on the no-fly list, and I don't care because I don't fly, because I don't want the damn total sexual assault agency to grab on my genitalia or my children's genitalia. That's why I will not fly with my children. I refuse to. I would rather walk to Disneyland than fly down there. All right, our next and last article is, the farm seafood you're eating may be raised on animal feces. Oh, my Lord. This is from naturalnews.com, and was written by Ethan A. Huff. And many Chinese seafood farmers feed their fish animal waste. And it also says, FDA dropping the ball in protecting Americans against contaminated seafood. So you're thinking you're eating your nice, good salmon, and, you know, you go down to Chinatown or to the fish market, wherever it may be, and you get your nice salmon or trout or kingfish, whatever you may be eating. And this fish actually comes from China and Vietnam, and they're basically being fed feces. Shit! They're being fed animal waste. So basically that's what we're eating. And that's why this country and society is turning into shit. Because it's what it is. Oh, man. All right, we're out of time here. Links for those articles for the shit and the fish can be found at Bloomberg.com, fishwatch.gov, and MSNBC-MSN.com. You don't believe me? Go look it up. Be careful before you eat your fish or the next time you eat your fish, because you just don't know what the hell you're eating. All right, people. Looks like I'm out of time. So sad. Death to the New World Order. God bless America. God save the Constitution. And if you have received this transmission, then you are the resistance.